I was sitting at my usual coffee shop on a rainy Thursday afternoon when my phone buzzed. The name on the screen made my heart skip. Natalie. 8 months of silence, and now this. Her message was short but loaded. I made a terrible mistake. Can we talk? I stared at those words, remembering 3 years of waiting, of patience, of believing in something I thought was sacred. 3 years, she told me we had to wait for marriage because of her faith. 3 years I respected that boundary without question. But here is the thing that twisted the knife. 2 months after we broke up, she did not wait anymore. Not for marriage. Not even for a moment of reflection. She slept with Graham, her wealthy coworker. And now, 8 months later, wearing his massive diamond ring, she wanted me back. Before I tell you how this all unraveled, let me know where you are watching from in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe, because this story about trust, faith, and betrayal might just change how you see relationships forever. Now, let me take you back to where it all began. 4 years ago, I met Natalie at a charity event in Portland. I was 28, working for a small marketing company, nothing fancy but stable. She was 26, an accountant with this incredible smile and long brown hair that caught the light just right. We were both volunteering, serving meals to people experiencing homelessness. Between ladling soup and handing out bread rolls, we started talking. She told me about her close-knit family, her love for hiking, and her dream of someday having a home filled with laughter and maybe a couple of dogs. I told her about my passion for creative work, my small apartment downtown, and how I believed genuine connections mattered more than anything money could buy. Our first date was a walk along the Willamette River, followed by dinner at this tiny Italian place, with checkered tablecloths and candles in wine bottles. Nothing expensive, just real. We talked for hours. She laughed at my terrible jokes. I listened to her stories about growing up with 3 siblings. Everything felt natural, like we had known each other for years instead of weeks. Over the next 6 months, our relationship grew into something I had never experienced before. It was not just attraction. It was partnership, comfort, and the kind of trust that made me believe in forever. Then, one evening, after 6 months together, Natalie asked if we could have a serious conversation. We were at her apartment, sitting on her couch, with mugs of tea. She looked nervous, twisting her hands together. "Blaze," she said softly, "there is something important I need to tell you about my beliefs." I nodded, encouraging her to continue. She explained that her family was deeply religious, following strict Christian values. She had made a personal commitment to remain a virgin until her wedding night. It is not just religious, Blaze. It is about building something real, something that lasts. I will admit I was surprised. I had not grown up religious, and physical intimacy had been part of my previous relationships. But looking at her earnest face, seeing how much this meant to her, I made a choice. "If you are worth it, and you are, then I will wait," I told her. The relief and gratitude in her eyes made it feel like the right decision. The first year was sweet. We traveled to the coast, hiked Mount Hood, met each other's families. Her parents welcomed me warmly, and I even started attending Sunday services with them occasionally. It was not my tradition, but I respected theirs. The second year brought challenges I had not anticipated. The physical boundaries tested both of us. There were moments of closeness that stopped just short, leaving us both frustrated. But I never pressured her. I had given my word, and I meant it. By the 3rd year, we were planning our future in detail. We talked about wedding venues, honeymoon destinations, and the kind of house we wanted to buy together. I picked up freelance work on weekends, saving every extra dollar for an engagement ring. I wanted it to be perfect for her. Then in October of that 3rd year, Natalie got a job offer from a major financial firm downtown. The salary was double what she had been making. She was thrilled, and I was proud of her. She deserved success. Her new office was sleek and modern, all glass walls and expensive furniture. That is when Graham entered our story. At first it was innocent mentions. "My boss, Graham, is really smart," she would say over dinner. "He graduated from Yale, drives a Tesla, has this beautiful house in the West Hills." I did not think much of it initially. Bosses exist. People talk about work. But then, the late nights started. "Graham needs me on this big project." It could mean a promotion. Her phone was constantly buzzing with messages. She would glance at them and smile in a way that felt different. Weekends became filled with team meetings and networking events. I started to feel uneasy, but we had 3 years of history, 3 years of trust. I pushed my worries aside, telling myself I was being paranoid. November rolled around, and Natalie started changing in ways I could not ignore. Our wedding planning conversations, once enthusiastic, became vague and distant. "Maybe we should wait a bit longer, make sure we are financially stable," she suggested one night. I was confused. "You are making good money now. I have saved up. What is really holding you back?" She avoided answering, changing the subject to something about work deadlines. Her appearance shifted too. She had always been naturally beautiful, but suddenly, she was wearing heavier makeup, buying expensive clothes I had never seen her in before. Designer labels replaced her usual casual style. She started getting weekly spa treatments, professional manicures, salon blowouts. When I commented on it, she brushed it off. "I need to look professional for work." But it felt like more than professionalism. It felt like she was becoming someone else. The comparisons started subtly. "Graham just bought a new Audi. He is taking the team to Cabo for a company retreat." Or, "Graham says investing in stocks early is crucial for building wealth." When I suggested our favorite casual restaurant for date night, she hesitated. "Can we try somewhere nicer? Graham took the team to this amazing steakhouse last week. The fillets were incredible." Each comment felt like a tiny knife. I worked hard at my job, but I was a mid-level marketing employee. I could not compete with a Yale graduate who drove luxury cars and owned property in the wealthiest neighborhood. I found myself trying to impress her with fancier dates, spending money I should have been saving. But it never felt like enough. The shadow of Graham's lifestyle loomed over everything. Early December, I decided it was time. We had been together 3 years. I had waited, respected her wishes, proven my commitment. I suggested we go ring shopping. Her reaction chilled me. "I am not sure I am ready yet," she said, barely looking up from her phone. My frustration boiled over. "We have been together 3 years. You said you wanted to wait for marriage, and I have waited." She looked at me with distant eyes. Maybe I was wrong about what I wanted. The words hung in the air like smoke. "What does that mean?" I demanded. "Are you interested in him?" "In Graham?" Her denial came too quickly, too defensively. "He is just my boss. Do not be insecure." Insecure! That word felt like a slap. Insecure. I have given you 3 years of my life. I have respected every boundary, every request, every value you claimed was important. She started crying, but they felt like guilty tears, not sad ones. "Maybe we both need space to think about what we really want," she said. She suggested a break. 2 weeks of no contact to clear our heads. Those 2 weeks were hell. I barely slept, could not focus at work, felt like I was drowning in uncertainty. I sent her a few messages, but her responses were cold and brief. "Still thinking. Need more time." My best friend Kyle called one afternoon. "Man, I do not know if I should tell you this." My stomach dropped. "What?" He paused. "I saw Natalie last night. She was at that upscale restaurant downtown. The one with the prix fixe menu. She was with some guy in an expensive suit." My hands went numb. "Did you see who it was?" Kyle sent me a photo he had sneakily taken. The man's face was partly obscured, but I recognized the watch, the build. I checked Graham's Instagram. He had posted a photo at the same restaurant the same night. My world tilted sideways. At the end of 2 weeks, I demanded we meet. We agreed on the park where we had our first date, which now felt like a cruel irony. She arrived, looking guilty, unable to meet my eyes. I did not waste time. "Are you seeing Graham's silence stretched between us?" Finally she nodded. "I have feelings for him. I am sorry." My voice was barely a whisper. "Did you kiss him?" Another nod. My throat tightened. 3 years. 3 years I waited because you asked me to." She was crying now. "I know, and I am sorry. But I cannot help how I feel." I stood up, my legs shaking. "We are done. Do not contact me again." I walked away from the park, from her, from 3 years of my life, that suddenly felt like a complete waste. January and February passed in a fog. I moved through life mechanically, going through the motions at work, Barely eating. Definitely not sleeping well. Kyle dragged me out to bars, to movies, trying to pull me back to the land of the living. You have got to stop torturing yourself, he kept saying. Slowly, I started listening. I deleted all our photos, blocked Natalie on every social media platform, joined a gym and started going 5 days a week, pushing my body until I was too exhausted to think. I threw myself into work, volunteering for extra projects. I enrolled in online courses for advanced digital marketing techniques. Little by little, I started feeling more like myself. A better version, actually. Stronger. More focused.